Welcome to Aaron's Heart. My name is Darby and I'll be your bartender. And today's special is actually a request from a good friend of mine, Mike. Mike, this one's for you, the Planter's Punch. All right, so the Planter's Punch. This was from a request from a good buddy of mine, Mike. Mike, here's your shout out, bud. Is a cool rum cocktail. It's a kind of tropical, kind of, you know, it's a rum cocktail. It's like halfway to a tiki cocktail, which I'm not a huge tiki guy, as you may be able to tell. I haven't done a lot of them, but I'm gonna be doing more. I've got a rum runner coming up, so stay tuned for that. But I figured it's a beautiful Saturday. Why not do something that's fun? It's super bright, it's happy, and quite frankly, I mean, it's summer here in Florida. So let's kick this one off with what is quintessentially a summer cocktail. So from the research I've been able to do and just kind of looking at a few different things, the Planter's Punch is actually from South Carolina, which makes sense why my buddy requested it, as he's also from South Carolina. So without further ado, let's do further and jump right into this. This is a super easy cocktail, okay? This takes almost nothing to make, and it's stuff that you'll probably have laying around by this point. You're gonna need a dark rum. I am actually not using a super dark rum. I would recommend maybe going something darker like an Appleton Estate, or if you want to get crazy, you could use a spiced rum like Kraken. That would be pretty cool. But I'm using this because it's from Florida. This is Timber Creek Distillery. It's not local here in this area, but it is a Florida local distillery, and this is a delicious rum. If you can get a hold of some of this, it makes an awesome punch. So what we're gonna need, 3 ounces of dark rum, okay? I know it sounds like a lot, just hang on. 3 ounces. 1 ounce simple syrup. I'm using plain simple syrup. I am not using Demerara. And the reason for that is I want to keep this drink as light as possible. And the Demerara tends to be, you know, it's thicker, it's heavier. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, you know, standard white sugar and water. And it's so much lighter and it's so much silkier as opposed to our Demerara. 3/4 of an ounce lime juice. Quick note on what we just did there. There was a reason for my order, right? If you say are measuring into something like this, right, or anything, if you put this in, right, or simple syrup, you can rinse it out with this, okay? Try to use your acid after or your juices after you use your sugars, just because they will wash each other out. All right, 3 big dashes of Angostura bitters. This is going to impart a ton of that herbal, earthy flavor that we like and that we know so well from our Angostura bitters. 1 more for good measure. I love Angostura bitters, they're delicious. And then we're gonna need, so really it is a teaspoon, all right? But if you don't have teaspoons, or if you're like me and you're working in an area where you've got, you know, specific equipment, a bar spoon will work just fine, of grenadine. I am using this really cheap Rose's grenadine. I recommend using something not cheap and gross, but I happen to like Rose's grenadine, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And because quite frankly, I try to do this kind of, you know, for the every person, the every man and woman should be able to get this stuff, and not all of us have time to go out and make our own grenadine. It's not hard to do, it just can be time consuming, and a lot of times we don't have time to do a lot of this, you know, little grab this, grab that. We have to, you know, work with what we've got, and you can get Rose's grenadine at Walmart. So that's what we're going to work with. All right, let's see about cracking this ice cube today. Much better today. If you're going to crack ice like this, whoa, there it goes, just shattered everywhere. Try and keep it really cold and crack it quickly. All right, ice, shaker, close it up, 10 to 15 seconds, good hard shake, and then we're going to strain this off into a glass. So a good long hard shake for this, simply because I want to mix that grenadine in really well, because it is kind of syrupy on its own. Try to shake that in really well, mix it up good, and you will find you get a much better cocktail. All right, so I don't have any cool like hurricane glasses or anything. So I'm gonna use this tall, skinny Collins glass, which I love those, they're beautiful. We're gonna put some fresh ice in there. You could absolutely free pour this, ice and all, right into a glass if you wanted to, especially if you're making these in bulk. I would absolutely, yeah, go for it. Boom, there we go. Now, you could serve it just like this, okay? You could serve it with nothing on it, but from what I've found, topping it with a little bit of club soda or sparkling water is super fun. Gives you a little bit of bubbles, a little bit of that effervescence. And then I've got some beautiful mint right out of the garden. We'll throw some mint in there. Throw a straw in there. Try to put your straw kind of in with your mint, you know, just like that, because that way you get a full face of that mint while you sip on your cocktail. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Mike, that one's for you. The Planter's Punch. I hope you guys enjoy. This is a super fun, super easy cocktail to make, and it's dangerously easy to drink, okay? It is. It's delightful. It is. So immediately, I mean, right off the front, the mint is right in your face. If we take that out, right, just for the sake of tasting, your grenadine is in the background. I mean, it's barely there. It's more color than anything. The lime juice comes straight through. It's not overly sweet, which if you wanted to sweeten it up a little bit, you could either add a little bit more grenadine or you could add a little bit more simple syrup. But I think it's right in the balance, that sweet spot between the two. The rum, using this Timber Creek because it's not super high proof, is so good because it's not overbearing. It kind of sits there and stews in the background. It's got its own little like molasses sweetness going on. It really is fun. It's easy to drink. It's just sweet enough to be super approachable, and it's perfect for sitting on the back porch on a nice warm summer day. Guys, I hope you take a risk, try something a little different like I've done here today. Try a Planter's Punch, maybe branch out, try something different than you'd normally try. I hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I've got for today. Thank you so much for supporting me. I have just reached, as of this morning of recording this, I have actually reached the same number of subscribers that it took me 3 years to get on my old channel, which doesn't exist anymore because I violated community standards. And I've reached the same number of subscribers in less than 3 months. So thank you guys so much for all of the support. It really does mean a ton to me. If you don't mind, take just a second. If you want to see more like this, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video with somebody that you think needs some Planter's Punch in their life. I'm gonna go finish this. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, you can do that down in the description below. There'll be links to my Patreon, which if you've got money to burn and that's your kind of thing, cool, throw money at Patreon. I'll use it for here in the bar. Otherwise, there is also an Amazon wish list that I update fairly regularly with stuff that I need here in the bar. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, tip your bartenders, have a great day, have a safe weekend. As I'm recording this, it's Memorial Day weekend, so please take just a second to remember those who have come and served before and that didn't make it home. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you in the next video. That's so good.